that's how I came across TradeThePool. It's for everyone, for beginners especially. You don't need like a fancy finance degree or something. Like you can use all the free resources from the internet and just try to find your like an edge. This is the best opportunity out there in the market, I can promise you, because you don't have to spend your own capital first of all, and even if you blow an account, you can always like sign up. The risk is very minimal compared to having your own capital. Yeah.
Welcome everybody to another funded trader of TradeThePool. Today Riz is with me, a new funded trader of the $25,000 buying power flex, as we call it. Thanks for coming, Riz.
Thank you for having me. Nice to meet you finally.
Nice to meet you as well. You know, Riz, we always do those interviews once you pass the evaluation, and then you go through the interview. We share the knowledge and information that we got, everything that you know about the evaluation and generally about trading. And so let's start with that. This is actually your first time you've been funded, right?
Yes, this is my first time I've been funded. So it's been a long journey because I did try like a couple of times. Yeah. When I started, I was a long bias trader. So, and then when it wasn't working, I changed my strategy after learning some stuff from like resources from like one of your recent courses that you did. So I did try to go from a long bias trader to a short bias trader. So, and it worked finally. I got funded.
And we talked about it before. It took you 5 days to pass the evaluation, right?
Yes, 5 days just following the strategy, because if something is not working, there's no point of like, unless you come up with a different strategy that works. But for me, for my stats, what it showed, because if you checked on the dashboard, it shows 25 short trades and 5 long trades. And I have a accuracy of 65% on the shorts. So that tells me everything. That basically just told me like I definitely need to be a short bias trader, because when I started, I had like everyone else, probably most traders, when they see like content on the internet, and most people are long bias trader. So it's not easy, especially when you're trading pre-market, because there's a lot of, I didn't know like there's a lot of like hyping stock, like pump and dump. So yeah, and you don't have time to look through the SEC filings when there's a news catalyst. So you just go in the trade and like fingers crossed it works out. But I think I'm more confident when I'm in the short side, now that I know like all what's going on behind the scenes. So I know like the cycle, what they do. It's a very crafty, the way, especially Chinese stocks, sorry, no offense to anyone. But yeah, especially what they do with all the stocks, they start with reverse split, and then they'll do like a S1 filing or ATM, they'll update, and then they dump the shares. So that is basically like a classic cycle of short selling. And I have a high accuracy, so there was no point of me like trying to be a long bias trader. I know there's benefits of it, especially if you have a personal account, like here in the UK, if you want to trade like in ISA to have zero tax on it, you'll have to be a long bias trader. So yeah, there's some perks, but for me, like my most important thing right now is just to be consistent and to have high accuracy. And that's why how I landed the short selling side of the market. Yeah.
That's amazing, because I can definitely relate to the fact of, understanding better the short side of it. Yeah. For me, I was always still till this day, mostly shorting, trying to go short than long. But it's just easier to see it on the chart, I guess. I'm not quite sure why, but it makes more sense. And you talked about the Chinese stocks. We actually just paid, literally a few days ago, we paid $80,000 for a trader. He made, on one trade, he made 85K specifically on those stocks. It was a PTHL, and that was a Chinese stock. It bounced up all the way to $30, and then all of a sudden dropped and went to $1. and we actually paid him $80,000 on that trade. So yeah, that's I
that's
get that.
amazing. So that's interesting because this is what I didn't know. I didn't know like that. If we go to my dashboard later on, you'll see like my biggest profit was LIDR, and I entered the trade at 612, and 2 minutes later it gapped down multiple times. Like it was short selling. So and then the following day, same thing with AEHL, it's another Chinese stock. So I mean, for me, that like it makes sense for me to be on a side where I'm like more confident and I know it's going to work most of the time. And also, if you start seeing when you start doing the technicals, like the way you mentioned reversal signs, like reversal candles or divergence, or especially a trend line that a very strong trend line or support, I mean resistance level, daily resistance level. So I mean, if you combine those, that's an A+ setup. And if you're not sure, you can always enter a trade and have like a tight stop loss. So yeah, I'm happy where I am at the moment. Yeah.
I will show your dashboard in a second. Let's, before that, talk about a little bit about your trading background. How long have you been doing that?
For stock trading, literally maybe less than 6 months. So yeah, I started with like a demo account in TradeZero International because of PDT rule. So, and then I started like looking at its resources online. I did activate like a small account, but it's very difficult. So when I started focusing on companies that fund traders, especially stock traders. And that's how I came across TradeThePool. I mean, for anyone who is watching this or hasn't, like, is still deciding, like, this is the best opportunity out there in the market, I can promise you. Because you don't have to spend your own capital, first of all. And even if you blow an account, you can always like sign up. The risk is very minimal compared to having your own capital, like starting capital. Yeah,
for sure. Thanks for that. And this is why really I love the fact that you've been doing it for 6 months, like the stock trading for 6 months, and you passed the evaluation and you're funded. You remind me of Morgan that I interviewed a while back, and she did the same. She literally entered the market 6 months before she passed the evaluation. Never knew what it's candlestick, a trend line, nothing. And it's amazing to see that everyone can get funded. Actually, it's just a matter of trying it, understanding a little bit of what you need to do, learning, using the content online or the content that we provide, and definitely get to that level. So it's amazing.
Yes, it's for everyone, for beginners especially. You don't need like a fancy finance degree or something. Like you can use all the free resources from the internet and just try to find like an edge. Obviously, you'll come across some mentors, but at the end of the day, you have to decide what works for you. So for me, that's what I did, and that's the stats showed me. Also, you have to know like what's happening with your stats. So sticking to the facts. I don't want to be a long bias trader, but the facts is telling me I have to be a short seller. So
yeah, exactly. So I'm going to share my screen and show your dashboard. For those of you not familiar with it, every trader gets his own dashboard, so you can track your stats and the progress and basically look at what you do and analyze it later on. So let's jump into that. Okay, so this is the dashboard. You got a light and dark mode. Flex 25K, so $25,000 of buying power. You need to reach 6% to get to the profit target and then pass to the evaluation, which it did very nicely. We'll talk about the chart in a second. Some consistency rules that you need to stay within them and not break those rules. As you said, LIDR was your best stock, best day, the 28th. 2.3 on the risk reward, it's great. And 56% success rate, that's also very decent. Let's look at the trades. So as you said, a lot of them are short selling, mostly small caps. Did you ever try to go short on large caps as well, to find the same concept?
No, I think for me, I haven't tried it. I wouldn't try it because I feel like there's more like high winning rate when you're dealing with like small caps because they're known to do a lot of like dilution. So like the Chinese stocks you mentioned before. So
Yeah.
I haven't even thought about doing like, I'll just stick to the small caps at the moment.
And going over a little bit of your trades, I see that most of them you usually go in and out, right? No scaling. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So like for me, as I'm still a beginner, I don't want to enter a trade and then get stopped out because I scaled in. So I'd rather just like have one trade, but I will try to do scaling in the future once I get a bit more experience with that. And the most important thing for me is risk. And by risk, I mean, let's say, for example, if you want to risk only $100, so I don't have fixed shares. I do, my shares changes according to my stop loss. So I can have 1,000 shares if I have only like 5 cents of stop loss. So my risk is, the share risk is it's not a constant. Like other people I saw, they have like a constant 300 shares. So for me, it depends with my stop loss. Yeah.
Right. The number of the bigger your stop loss, the lower the number of shares. So that's definitely a good technique. And I'm watching it. I'll bring out the chart again. I'm watching the chart here, and you had a nice start at the beginning, like sideways with a little bit move to the upside, and then all of a sudden you had a few trades, the LIDR, and then another sideways. So how do you see yourself on the funded account? How do you see your trading on the funded account?
So I did start trading like the sideways. I was trying to do pre-market, but I don't think I have a big risk appetite enough, especially for short selling. So I was not staying. I was not letting my winners run. I would get out very fast because I was like, it's going the opposite direction. So now I'm focusing on just being in like trading during the market hours, because now I can have like a hard stop loss. I know some people don't like hard stop loss, but for me it gives me like, I don't do anything like crazy. I just remain calm and let the trade do its own thing. So I don't get out of trade. Like that LIDR was during market hours, which I had a stop loss. So just waiting for it to see what happens instead of getting out prematurely, like in the pre-market. Because in pre-market, a stock can go like $20 up. And yeah, it's I don't think it's for beginners, but some beginners, it works for them. So for me, I'll just stick to trading during market hours because of risk. Risk is everything to me. I'd rather it's good when I have a green day, but I feel much more like happy if I have a small red day. So that's like my principle.
That's a great point that you just mentioned, because first of all, understanding your stats, understanding the best way to trade, and as you mentioned, regular trading hours will be great for you comparing to the pre-market because you don't have a stop loss there. So recognizing that will automatically give you that edge, right? It will push you a little bit more toward bringing or crafting your edge. And second thing, if you do wish to trade pre-market, then maybe instead of risking on regular trading hours, you would risk $100. On pre-market, risk $30, $40, just to give yourself that opportunity to be there, but not risking too much.
Yes. So that's what I have to decide, like in the long run. Because there's so many opportunities, from your video, you had, I think most of the trades were during pre-market, most of your trades. So there's a lot of like opportunities, obviously. So I don't want to miss out. So definitely I'll take that. I'll keep a note on that and then see if once I get a cushion, probably then I'll start trading pre-market with my funded account with the small share size.
Yeah. And like always, I mention in every interview, basically, we got the guys like Harpnor and Michael Tarantula that have been doing it for a long time. And they always say on your funded account, start small, build a cushion, and only then increase sizes. I would definitely recommend you and everyone that watching also on the evaluation, just build that cushion in order for you to continue to trade freely.
Yes. And also, if you don't have any cushion, I mean, it's a bit risky, like emotionally, psychologically. So you might end up taking like one big swing and then it doesn't work. So yeah, you just have to like walk before you run. That's what I say.
Yeah. Amazing, Riz. Thanks so much for all the knowledge that you just shared with us. I'm sure the guys at home that watching it would love it. And for those of you who want to join us, check us at tradethepool.com. And that's it. Hopefully we will do another interview once you get to your payout. Take it slow on the funded account.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And thank you. And I'm happy to be part of the Trading Pool family. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.